Hello, this is J.N.S. And so, I had to come back about this topic. Obviously, I did a video earlier about my breakdown on the Trump assassination attempt, and just giving asking some rhetorical questions about the validity of the event, who could be behind it, what's going on. But like I you know, rewatched some things, and I also researched a couple things, and I'm like, there was some codes that he was trying to communicate. Now, I want to preface this video by saying it is an esoteric video, and also I'm going to be speaking to very specific bloodlines in this video. So that's more Sephardic bloodlines, any bloodlines of nobility relating to um, the bloodlines of the Nazarenes, the Dragon Riders, uh, Knights Templar. It's very specific bloodlines that I'm speaking to. Anybody that's related to any Draco energy, this video is for you. But the reason why I'm prefacing that, making that disclaimer rather, is because I'm going to lose some people who do not understand those particular light codes when I break down some of the esoteric meaning behind um, some of this event. And I'm going to say it's probably a bunch of code that I'm going to miss. It's probably other stuff that you guys are going to pick up on a deeper level, but it's interesting. Some things here, like we were looking at, we look at numbers and we look at time. I'm not going to go deep into the number stuff. I'm pretty sure other people have already done that as far as the gematria, but I'm going to be looking at this Butler, Pennsylvania, 6:12 p.m. Eastern time, right at the time where Trump says fight, fight, fight 3 times. But also the shooter, not the shooter, the one of the victims that passed away being from Buffalo Township, Pennsylvania, former fire chief. Okay. And so for those of us that know how a psyop works. And so when I say a psyop, I don't want you guys to think that I'm saying that this situation is staged. Not in a way that you guys think where I'm trying to take away that people actually die. In psyops, people actually die. A psyop is a psychological operation to mold the collective consciousness into a certain direction for an agenda. That could be for good or bad. That could be ritualistic. It can be occultic. It can be, something mundane or something very serious. For this situation, though, we're getting energy where Trump is trying to communicate to the shift, the next bloodline that's going to be in power. In terms of, remember what I told you guys earlier, we're dealing with a war based on frequency and principalities. And so, in terms of being able to usurp that power, as far as the bloodline that's supposed to be getting it, and it is an American bloodline, it is a royal bloodline. Um, there's it's a rift going on. I talked about that earlier. How there's secret societies that are beefing, bloodlines that are beefing, and it just is what it is. And some of us are under spiritual attack more than others, based on that. And so when we look at, you know, Buffalo Township, this is one of this is a former fire chief who died at the Trump rally. He used his body to shield family from gunfire. He is from Buffalo Township, Pennsylvania. Now, we're talking about the energy of Buffalo. Here we got David Dutch of New Kensington, Pennsylvania, and James Copenhaver of Moon Township, Pennsylvania. Um, we're dealing with, and you guys may feel like this is a stretch, but for those of us in the know, we know the energy from the uh, Buffalo in general. Now they're talking about Buffalo Township in Pennsylvania, but this is 2 hours from Buffalo, New York. And believe it or not, that situation that they did at that damn massacre at Tops in Buffalo on Jefferson, on Jefferson. Pay attention to some of these codes because I am going to be discordant or staccato rather. Um, that remember when Biden and who was it? Biden and then Kathy Hochul, the governor of New York, they all went to Buffalo and was all in Buffalo, and Buffalo was on the world stage because of that incident that happened with that massacre. That was a ritual. You guys should obviously know that by now. That was once again a psyop, but people actually died. Um, when I say psyop, I don't mean staged in a way that you think like, oh, a hoax. A psyop is not a hoax. A psyop is very real. However, things can, you plan things accordingly. And so when they were in Buffalo, Biden and Kathy and the whole world focused all their energy on Buffalo based off that massacre. That was an energy harvesting for a very specific reason to try to tap into the very specific bloodlines in Buffalo that are surround the Jefferson area. I grew up around that area, so I know what I'm talking about. And one of my adopted family members died in that Buffalo massacre. It was a ritual. And there are certain bloodlines that were affected by that. Jefferson, the Tops on Jefferson, we grew up going over there, going to that Tops. You guys probably know Young Pharaoh. We grew up together, and that Tops was literally like a 5-minute walk from where he grew up. And I say that because there are certain bloodlines in Buffalo that are under surveillance, that get monitored more than others, but also that have been systematically uh, predetermined to take them out to prevent certain bloodlines from getting back into power, or to bear, or to at least trap the energy of those bloodlines so that they can't um, so that the agenda that the Watchers have cannot be done. This is all a cult. This is all a ritual. Now, there's a schism. There are some that are okay with the shift in the power, and there are others that are not. But there's energy. There are bloodlines in Buffalo that is involved with this. You don't have to believe me. You can say, "Oh, that's crazy." You can say, "Oh, no, that's just far fetched." But I'm telling you, this energy that the Brotherhood is trying to tap into, it stems from this Buffalo thing, whether that be the Buffalo Township code that they're giving out, and then Buffalo massacre, New York, where Biden and Kathy did that ritual, where they did that ritual 2 years ago. Believe it or not, that energy is still there. You can still feel that energy. Literally, you can still feel it. Yeah, I may not be able to feel it, but I can still feel that stuff they pulled in Buffalo, and the bloodlines that were affected by that, and around Jefferson, the Aaron Salter family, um, the Daniels family, and I'm telling you, this is relating to more Sephardic light codes. Now, you may laugh and say, okay, no, that can't be true. But Daniel's family was affected by this. My adopted, my adopted aunt, again, this was through marriage, was knocked off in that hit. That was a Daniel's family. Is it a coincidence? Now, this may sound crazy to you, but you gotta, again, from Buffalo, you'll know. Even who else is Daniels? I'll say that. Who else is a Daniels bloodline? I'll leave that for you guys to. I don't know if I should be giving all this information out because it's deep. But yeah. So now we're looking at this Buffalo energy still. We're looking at this Buffalo energy, but look at the time where it says live 6:12 p.m. Butler, Pennsylvania. What is a butler? A butler is a steward of a steward, a cupbearer, um, in a royal family. It's obviously a servant, but believe it or not, they have to do with they're an officer in the household of kings or dignitaries. So they're usually in charge of portables. So one who gives a drink. That's what a butler is. This is in Genesis 40, 1 through 23, and then 41 through 9. And so it's a cupbearer. Believe it or not, Butler is also a play on cupbearer. 1 Kings 10:5-2 and Chronicles 9:4, as well as Nehemiah 1:11. I gotta go fast. Not fast, but I'm not gonna be going into all of these verses and breaking down all this stuff. It's for you to do all that. So we're dealing with someone who knows that they're a servant to the royal monarch bloodline. Butler, Pennsylvania. We got Buffalo Township person that got knocked off, and then we got the MK Ultra shooter, who was connected, who was in a Black Rock commercial. Black Rock commercial. Oh, I don't know if I should be going this deep. But then we got, so we got, obviously this relates to Butler, relates to the Council of the Kings, Pennsylvania, live. This obviously you will see this as live because this is live on Fox, but this is live 6:12 p.m. ET. Live. So now we're dealing with Ephesians 6:12. This is an anagram. 6:12 p.m. Eastern ET. That's an anagram. That's an anagram for Ephesians 6:12. For we do not wrestle against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the authorities, against the cosmic powers over this present darkness, against the spiritual forces of evil in heavenly places. This should not say heavenly places because this was obviously someone who rewrote this, but we're dealing with principalities against powers, against the rulers of darkness of this world, against spiritual witnesses. I would say in low places. I don't see this as high places, and I don't see it as in heavenly. Obviously, whoever rewrote this, I'm trying to see if we can get an Aramaic version. You probably won't be able to get an Aramaic version, but no, I can't find it. But anyways, we're dealing with principalities against powers, and so we look at shots fired, live 6:12 p.m. ET. This is right when he starts saying fight, fight, fight.
He may have been injured.
Fight, fight, fight. Butler, Pennsylvania, live 6:12 p.m. ET. Let's do it again.
He is holding up his arm.
Let me go here.
He is holding up his arm.
Because this is a good, again, this is a good way to communicate to them certain bloodlines that, for those that has a suspicion about these things, no, you're not crazy. Yes, this shit is real. And yes, again, we're in this World War III is based on principalities and frequencies, like I've been saying this whole time. But this fight, live 6:12 p.m. Eastern, that's a communication to certain principalities that are involved in ushering this new age of a different power structure. It has nothing to really do with Trump. This is not a deification of Trump. This is not making it seem like Trump is our savior. None of that bullshit. This is literally just saying that during this transitional period, though, and the shift of certain bloodlines getting back into power, there's communication from the brotherhood that there is some acknowledgement of that shift in power. This can take a 12 to 20 year movement, though. You're seeing this play out in front of you. Yeah, Trump is most likely going to get it for 24 to 28. But we're speaking much deeper here as far as these codes and how do you communicate with one another. This is something that's going to take about a good 10 to 20 years to carve out. But it's a communication to those bloodlines from someone who acknowledges that they are a dignitary of the royal monarch, Butler, Pennsylvania, lives 6:12 p.m. ET. 6:12 anagram. You can look at that at 639. You got a 9. Then the sign 45 pops up. That's another 9. You can look at it as that. But also look at how the breakthrough of the Secret Service. He's saying fight, 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 as if he can break through the Secret Service. So that's also, let's look at Secret Service. United States Secret Service. Let's look if we see anything about that. Federal law enforcement agency under the Department of Homeland Security with the purpose of conducting criminal investigations and protecting U.S. political leaders, their families, and visiting head of state or government. The Secret Service, part of the Department of the Treasury. Da, 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 da. Okay, let's see. Counterfeit. I'm just reading through this. We have a dual objective. So we got tactical operations, surveillance, partnerships that are created. It's a code with this Secret Service stuff, but I think it's also an anagram on secret society, um, or a play for that. I do, because he's trying to break through, talking about fight, fight, fight. Right here, as if he can get through, and they trying to, I guess, protect him, whatever. And many people were like, "Oh, that looks staged. That doesn't look real." Wouldn't they be just concerned with getting him to the, not doing no damn photo op or breaking, acting like he can break through them?
Him out that he
Right.
may have been injured.
Look at that. To me, also looks like a code. We looking at, again. This is all the occult. This is. If you guys want to know how these rituals look, Fox News and CNN and MSNBC, those are your biggest carriers of rituals. If you didn't know that, those are those. If you want to go to be put under a spell, just go watch those stations. Seriously, it's right in front of you. And so this is a spell. We're dealing with 612. Now you can look at it as a good one or a bad one, whatever. It's a psyop. It's a psychological operation to get you to think a certain way. Now people really did die. You know, people really did die, and somebody could be compromised within the Secret Service. This could be a whole CIA psyop for all we know. But we know that we're dealing with 6:12 p.m. ET, and then it's fight, fight, fight with this quote unquote black fist. This fist pump, this fist of black power. I told you guys we're moving into the age of the dark matter. There's some acknowledgement pretty much from his ilk, that they acknowledging that. You guys think of it as like black power in a literal sense. When we're thinking of black, we're not thinking of the black under the definition of the law of commerce or silver to mortus, none of that. We're talking about it from the dark matter cosmic realm, the way as it would be in its literal definition. Again, this is not to deify or make it seem like Trump's a savior, because this is a much bigger agenda. It has nothing to do with actually caring about any two sides of anything. These people are under orders. They don't, you know what I mean? So they don't give a damn about the average Joe Schmo like that. It's about a bloodline. It's always been, and it is what it is. And so, we got this black power fist saying fight, fight, fight 3 times, with Secret Service surrounding him like he can break through him trying to fight. He's trying to let people know. It's the communication, letting people know they're trying to bring in this age of this dark matter, this golden age of America, this shift. And there's a principality. It's a principality war. It's a principality war. Dude from Buffalo Township dies, right? And off of the energy of blood, of the Buffalo massacre energy, but where they did that big ass, where Biden and them did that big ass ritual 2 years ago. That energy is still there. That was an attack on certain bloodlines in Buffalo. It was an attack on certain bloodlines that is connected through the real blood of Solomon, not the fake stuff. Not the now we talking about real shit. And they tracked those bloodlines, and they always knew they were in Buffalo, and they always came from the South, so they know about that all of this. And so, um, again, there's a rift between that society, one that is acknowledging that shift of power, any other that want to keep and cling on to their power and keep the system the way that is going. Child trafficking and all, MK Ultra and all. That's what they want. And then you got the other side that's like, you know, let's take the chances. Let's try something different for America. Let's try something different for the quote unquote new world order, or for the shift in power even in the brotherhood. But yes, this fight, 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 this fist, dealing with live, Ephesians 6:12, 6:12 p.m. ET in Butler, Pennsylvania. And now anybody that knows what Boule means council of the chiefs. So he's using this is in Butler, Pennsylvania, manservant of the king, an officer in the household of kings or other dignitaries. That's what Butler means. That's what Boule means, and anybody in the Illuminati or in the Boule, that's exactly what they are. They are a council of the kings, a council to the chief, an officer in the household of kings. That's just what it means. So this Butler, Pennsylvania, that's how you can look at it. Yeah, but this Buffalo Township, I'm trying to look and see if I see anything else. The flag at the station. Corey Computer. I want to look up this last name right here. What's this last name mean? Name meaning. I'm trying to look up the name meaning. So they giving me everything, but I want to look up the name meaning. Okay, let's see. Ooh, I can't find anything on this. Let's see. Well, here we go. Let's keep looking. Okay, so that's Italian origin. Okay, compara, purchase, buying, originated occupational surname for people who has worked as a buyer or purchasing agent. This is deep. Mm, I'm not gonna give out any more codes on that. I know what I picked up from it, but I'm not gonna say that on live. Yeah. Mm-mm-mm. And then look at the names: David Dutch and Buffalo Township. Yeah, this is relating to that Buffalo massacre. Absolutely. Hmm. The third victim, 74, James Copenhaver of Moon Township. Deceased victim was fight. Mm. Yep. But that dude that was sent on that dummy mission from that was in that Black Rock video commercial, and they scrubbed that from the internet, but we got the footage. So we was able to get it before they hurried up and scrubbed the internet. Like Black Rock says gunman from Trump Alley appeared in firm's ad. He was an MK Ultra victim. That's what they do. In a 2022 ad, Black Rock. Mm-mm-mm. I think BlackRock, we're probably referring to that. Is that the cube, the Saturn's cube, most likely? But yeah, that was clearly. I mean, they getting so motherfucking sloppy. I mean, psyops. I mean, again, don't think of it as psyop means it's staged and fake or it's a hoax. No, most things are psyops. That means they're planned out meticulously to communicate to one another. People really do die. This could have even been something that Trump wasn't even really even involved in. Because again, we're dealing with principalities on both sides. And so you're like, it's like watching a movie in terms of how code gets communicated. But this does look to be like a high level ritual. If I'm not, if I have to be honest. And then the ear bleeding. That's another code that I'm not even gonna get into on this app. You know, on the YouTube. Some things you just gotta just know for yourself. Like some things you just gotta, you know what I mean? Like some things you just gotta know. It's just for you, pretty much. It's just for some things. Is just for us to know. It ain't for everybody to know everything. But this fight with this black power, Black Rock, dealing with this is we're in a spiritual war. Again, every this whole World War III is based on frequency. Is based World War III is based on frequency and psychology of war. It's psychological. It's all psychological. And so that's what 6:12 p.m. with this fight, fight. Those bloodlines, yeah, you need to fight. Don't give up now. Don't give up now because you do have um and orders that back you, orders that do recognize what the hell is going on. And for I'm talking about the bloodlines that know who I'm communicating to and that know what's going on and that know what time it is. If you don't know what time it is and you still loosey goosey walking around here dumb as a motherfucker, that's your business and more power to you. I'm not trying to come at nobody, you know, but this is for very specific people that know what the damn time it is. Now, this ain't saying Trump is no savior or nothing, because again, for those of us that's in the know, we know what's really up. He's a counsel of the chief, a dignitary of the royal bloodline, and he knows that's what he is. And so, the average American can look at him as the savior, they deify him. That's what they gonna do. That's what they gonna do. That's not none of our concern. For those of us that's in the know, that's on the inside of this, we should know what that this is totally different for us. We can see this on a totally different lens, especially what we're going through as chosen ones and what is being communicated in terms of what the hell we've been going through, and especially coming out around this summer solstice, going into this Lion Gates portal. You know they about to tag our asses up. I've been getting my ass tagged up. I feel it by, you know, be fighting, fight, fight, fight. Okay. And so that's the code that you need to take from that in terms of ushering in this black power. That's why using this black power fist. That don't mean he gonna come and get black people or save black people. Please don't think I'm saying that. We're talking about the ushering in from the law of commerce to the law of dark matter, the law of black power. Black meaning the cosmic element, the original definition of what black means. Dark matter. Okay. Ephesians 6:12. This is what we're dealing with. We're wrestling. It's not about the flesh and the blood. You may think you see flesh and blood, but it's about principalities. And some of us are principalities. Some of us are literal. Some people are principalities of darkness, and others are principalities of higher governing forces. And there is spiritual wickedness all around. And so that's the code that that we got to take from this, that there is still a fight, but there are some shifts. There are some shifts in what's going to happen. And it looks like you know, there's some alignment going on. Again, because this is the big boys game. This is not. Mm, 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 mm. Yeah, this shooter coming from Black Rock. Now, I'm not saying Black Rock had anything to do with it. Obviously, that'd be reckless to say. But I think they behind this motherfucking Psyop. But you know, I think that shooter was definitely an MK Ultra victim. Sure, Manchurian Candidate. Sure, sure. And they getting real sloppy, and we getting pissed off with that because we told y'all to come out about what y'all still doing to people. Because I know you know, that stuff is real. And I know humans are so brainwashed they don't want to believe it. They want to bury their heads in the sand when it comes to this stuff. But no, this Thomas Matthew Crooks. Let's see. Bethel Park High School, Bethel, Black Rock. Those were shot at Crooks High School, the Bethel Park High School. These are all codes to communicate. I just don't have time to sit through all of this and break all this shit down on live. But yeah, this is all they trying to usher in a new power structure. I'm telling you, it's right in front of you. And yes, it is based off of you got the it's different. I mean, you got the Draco bloodlines, the bloodlines of Nimrod, bloodlines of Nazarene, Nazir, um, the bloodlines of the Dragon Riders, and then you got that split. There's hybrid, and it's complex to understand. And then some of this stuff goes straight back up into Egypt. How do we go? How do I break this down in a way that you can understand me? I'll just let this out. You guys know the Pharaoh. You know what? I don't even know if I should be getting out that information. I'm gonna just keep that to myself. That one. But pretty much, there's recognition that yes, there was a swap in a bloodline, an identity theft, and the reason why there's a fall in power, and a power structure shift is because the only way this shit is gonna work is if the right bloodline get in there. It's as simple as that. You can't go and steal someone else's bloodline and then act like you the one that descends from the Rothschilds or the bloodlines of the pharaohs of Osiris. Nah, it don't work that way. You gonna have to hand over that shit to the motherfucker that it really is. And so I may have lost you guys with that one, but I'm talking about the way the brotherhood thing. I can't talk. Y'all still in political, Democrat, Republican, DNC. All that's the low level. That's the real low level of this. That's the mind control aspect of that. The actual governance part of this is much deeper. And so Trump understands that, but it looks like Trump is on the side of trying to usher in the other bloodline, the new bloodline. Well, it's not a new bloodline, it's a very old bloodline. It was a hidden bloodline, it was a desecrated bloodline, and a bloodline that was under a spell. It was a swipe in identity, stealing of Masonic credit system, of their Masonic spiritual credit. And that time is up. They can no longer do that. And so here we go. Look at this.
President Trump. This does not look good. I'm going to be honest with you. From what we can see right here, it looks like they are attempting to move him out, that he may have been injured. He is
Fight with this Black Power fist at Butler, Pennsylvania. Live 6:12 p.m.
holding up his arm. He is pumping his fist, but clearly
Holding up his arm, he is pumping his fist.
Secret Service wants to get him out of
But clearly, Secret Service wants to get him. Listen to this. This is all a stage. Look at this.
this situation.
I gotta rewind that because that's deep.
Get him out of this situation.
Clearly, Secret Service wants to get. Now, y'all see it as okay, yeah, get him out of there of this shooting. But we know this is a psyop.
Clearly, Secret Service wants to get him out of this situation.
Pumping his fist, fight, fight, fight. So he fighting, and he telling the rest of these the principalities like, you gotta fight, 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 fight. And the Secret Service want to get him out of this situation. So this could be a code for a secret society wants him out of that situation. Secret society wants him out, or literal somebody in a secret service is compromised. You know, and they communicate things again, predictive programming or the way something plays out like a video game. That's above human understanding. I try to wake that up in terms of how these things play out, how to fall. I don't even know I should be getting into all that, but it's above the understanding right now of how this stuff works out and how you can have a perfect psyop and how it can be undetectable to most humans. And you know, this one is kind of a little janky because they're not hiding it that it's a psyop. They're not. Many humans are like, this shit looks staged. A lot of the human, a lot of people are like, this don't even look real, da, da, da. Or they think it's an inside job, or they feel like Secret Service wasn't on it like how they should have been, But yeah, this 612 and it's 610, 13, all of those mean something. 611, 612, and 613. But the 612 one with the fight, fight, fight with the fist pump and the PMET, that one stuck out to me specifically at that time. And then if you go to 613, and that's when she says he is pumping his fist, but clearly Secret Service wants him out of there. See, they trying to communicate to certain people. Not everybody is gonna get this, and it's fine. But yeah, he fighting to keep the as far as the transition, because he's been given the placeholder position, just so y'all know that. That's above y'all pay grade. Ain't nobody gonna do nothing about it. We all know presidents are selected, not elected. Get over it. This is shit y'all should have been new. It's not your fault, but it should have been told that. Literally under the same bloodlines that's been running this world for thousands and thousands of years. It just is what it is. But as far as this transition, it's getting hard for some of us. And we still dealing with some of the energy from the summer solstice. I know for a fact that I've been getting psychic attack. I done came at people recently and stuff. I know for a fact that I've been under psychic attack, and we've been fighting. In the spiritual realm, it's up, But yeah, this 612 p.m. ET, and I'm telling you, this is for the bloodlines in Buffalo, Sephardic Moorish bloodlines in Buffalo that stem from Alabama, North Carolina, and Georgia. Certain bloodlines, whether that be Jeffersons, Daniels, Washingtons, Jordans, Bernards, all these different bloodlines. You may think you as a black, or even Jones, you as a black American, you think you just some niggified person and all this stuff. No, it's time. Now again, you want to sit on your ass for the next 10 to 20 years and not think of a way how to hold on to that energy. The same energy from that's ritual that they use, and you still using that energy from Buffalo to carry out stuff. Just so y'all know, just if y'all didn't know that. So if y'all want to waste that energy and I don't mean go and try to hit me up or try to take me out, nothing like that, because that shit ain't gonna work. I already tried to do that one. But on a serious tip though, for those that's in the know, if y'all took this next 10 to 20 years to pay attention to what the fuck is going on and actually get yourself in power, you'll have an easier time doing that. But if you want to be a slave and still kowtow to this system that's not serving you, then go ahead. Because ain't nobody about to spoon feed you or come and save you. You have to do some of the work too. But if your heart is in the right space, you'll have the spirits to assist you. But yeah, you want to vote for the couch in 2024, that's your business. But you better, or you want to go vote for Biden or Trump, that's your business. But if you want to spend the next 10 to 20 years getting organized to get your ass up in there for this new bloodline, then that's what y'all need to do. And start and keep calling out these gatekeepers that's trying to keep this ridiculous fake bloodline in. Because they do got black people that are in on this, that's keeping the other, that's on the other side. They getting paid, or they want their shit covered. They got shit they gotta cover up, so they gonna keep going with this system against the wishes of the literal watchers, against the wishes of the agenda. So you gotta fight. You gotta fight still. Yep. I feel it's this is some wild shit, man. This is some wild shit. So we'll see, but they got to figure out who trained that boy, because he's a Manchurian candidate. He ain't just get up there, bypass Secret Service, bypass National Guard, bypass Homeland Security, bypass and get his motherfucking ass on some roof and go shooting at a motherfucker and go shooting at the former president of the United States. That don't even sound right. And he in a BlackRock commercial. Get the fuck out of here. Who trained him? Was it the CIA? When y'all gonna come clean about that? Y'all still got MK Ultra, that y'all still use that on people in 2024, and y'all try to use that shit on me as me being a ward of the state in a foster program as a kid, and God knows what other programming, so whatever I've been through. But when y'all gonna come clean about that? Because clearly we keep seeing the same lone wolf, lonely but really intelligent, and he a 20-year-old, a 20 motherfucking year old. What a 20-year-old know about going to go knock out some damn president for? That don't even sound right. That don't even sound, y'all getting so damn stupid with it. I mean, y'all could at least humor me. Y'all could at least get somebody that's 40 years old that that hated Trump, that was gay, that was liberal, and that was upset about something. Like y'all don't even play this scenario right. Y'all don't even give us, like, y'all just leave it. I mean, y'all that motherfucking sloppy now. 20 years old is gonna go and go. That is an MK. If that ain't Manchurian, I don't know what is. Cause ain't no 20-year-old thinking that damn radicalized to go take some to go get up on no damn roof 400 feet, bypassing Secret Service and bypassing Homeland Security, bypassing all of that to go take out Trump. That don't even make any sense. What did he know about Trump? He wasn't even alive. I mean, he was alive, but at 2016, dude was like 15 years old. But he knows about getting so angry that he got to go and take out Trump. No, that don't even sound right. It just don't. And so that's why I think this is a psyop. And like I said, I do think that 612 ET, I think that's an anagram on Ephesians 6:12. Live, where it says live on the station. Right at fight, 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 while he's being held by Secret Service, held back by Secret Service as he's throwing a black power fist. Yep. So we got to fight, as far as ushering this Saturnian, this new energy that is more fair and that is in tune with the universal order, because it got nothing to do with the politics. politics is occult wars. Politics is bloodline wars. At the higher levels, at the lower levels, it's what Democrat, Republican, and third part, Green Party, and running for your election, your campaign manager. That's the low level shit. That's the low level. That's the level that most humans are gonna be able to relate to it on. But at the high level of politics, it's bloodline wars. It's Game of Thrones pretty much. It's Game of Thrones and occult wars on some King Solomon shit. That's what it's about. If you didn't know, that's what it's always been about. To vote means to bow. Yep. And so let me get up off of here. I think I covered what I wanted to say. Let me get my ass up off of here. Yep. I'll see if I see any more codes. I know it's more. I know I missed a lot. I know y'all probably found more, way more than me. Yes, let me get my ass up off of here. Let me see what y'all saying in the comment section. Oh, hey, brother Ken. Yeah, that was definitely MK Ultra. I'm glad other people. His parents were behavioral counselors. Oh, wow. Oh yeah, they got him good. Oh man, they did him dirty. Okay, what you see? You said the bloodline he hails from. That's what I mean by DNC earlier, by because that's the institution that is controlled by them. Okay, I don't know about the bloodline he hails from. I didn't see that, but yeah, it's deep. It's deep. You see how he's in the BlackRock commercial and all that. It's deep. It's definitely that was definitely an MK Ultra victim. CIA assets. That's ridiculous. But then, like I said, the Secret Service need to come forward. Y'all got a lot of explaining to motherfucking do because y'all was moving slow as hell, or you need to admit that it was just the psyop. But the way they was moving to me, it just was weird. The whole thing just was weird. But like I said, this Butler, Pennsylvania, the other homeboy that was shot from Buffalo Township. I'm telling you, go look at them pictures. Matter of fact, let's do it together. Buffalo, New York massacre. Buffalo. I'm telling you, that was one of the most major rituals if I had ever seen one, boy. I mean, the energy ricochet from that, oh, I felt that all the way in Georgia, and I still feel it. And it's years later, and you could still feel that. And how they was all in. See, that's Biden and right at Buffalo. Look at this. If this don't, I mean, come on, it's clearly right in front of you. This is literally where I had grew up around. We grew up going to that Tops in the Back right there. And I told you that um my adopted aunt through marriage died. Aunt Steenie died. Aunt Steen. That's Joanne's sister. We call her Aunt Joanne. That's people. You for those that may say, oh, we can't verify this. This is easily verifiable information. Jacqueline, if you was to go and ask Joanne, yeah, Jacqueline's daughter Jenny, Jacqueline. Do you know Jenny? Oh yeah, I know who Jenny is. I obviously don't go by Jenny on YouTube, but yeah, that's Einstein. That's somebody you grew up with. That's real. That's crazy. And I'm telling you, I can feel this energy, and those are from the Daniels family. This is Buffalo, New York. Now, mind you, there's another code because there's certain bloodlines. I'm telling you, that's targeted by this shit. As far as the ritual, the witchcraft behind it, the occult behind it, I felt the witchcraft. And I'm literally all the way in Georgia. I was in Georgia at the time, and I knew instantly that was a ritual. I said I could feel the energy behind it. I said that's a occult ritual. They did some type of witch, and I felt it on certain bloodlines in Buffalo. The vicinity, there are very powerful royal bloodlines that are in Buffalo that have been usurped though in terms of binding spells on them, and they wanted to keep that energy on them still because they got released. It was broken in 20, and so they were trying to hurry up and put it back on them, but it didn't work. And so those bloodlines, and they had beefed up security around this area and everything. I'm telling you, like when this happened, like they had, because that was when stuff like this happens, that's the excuse to police more. So they brought in more surveillance in Buffalo, New York, around this area, just like I know, massive surveillance, and it wasn't for the reasons that y'all think. It was 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 for the reas It wasn't to protect the civilians. It was massive surveillance over the awakening bloodlines that are Black Americans in Buffalo, New York, in the Jefferson area. That's what the fuck that was about. I felt it then. I said it then, and I say it again. I'm not taking. I'm not going to bulge off of that. This is the first thing I said. I said they monitoring. I said Biden calls for stricter gun laws, social media monitoring. Yeah, they was calling for stricter. I mean, and I know because I had people in Buffalo was telling me like, yeah, they got police everywhere, it's massive surveillance. That was to police them damn bloodlines. That's why they took Aaron Salter's ass out. That was to surveillance to heavier surveillance around them bloodlines because certain like I'm telling you, I grew up around this area. Young Pharaoh grew up around this area. Stevie J was around this area. Like I'm telling you, certain bloodlines come out of this area of Buffalo, New York, and so they are trying to monitor uh, certain things that because again, Aaron Salters come from out of this area, and so they realizing okay, they found some of that bloodline of David out there, and so they've been trying to knock us off. Man, some of us have had literal assassination attempts. Some of us have either been driven through horrific MK Ultra spells. Some of it has been successful. Some of the spells have failed, but they've been doing all types of shit. This is some deep stuff, and I know people won't connect the two, but it is connected. Actually, I saw people on Twitter connecting the two. I did see people doing that. I should have took some screenshots of that shit because I wasn't paying attention. It just happened yesterday, so I wasn't really, thinking of codes or nothing like that. But I seen people on Twitter making those connections from Buffalo Massacre, and it was Black Americans. I feel like I'm kicking myself right now because I really wish I would have went back and screenshot because it had just happened, the assassination attempt, and people were just talking about it, and I just wish I would have just went back and screenshot to see what they were saying because I'm telling you, I'm not the only person that can pick up on stuff. So I know other people could feel that. I'm talking about just to feel the energy. This Buffalo Township shit. So that probably means we did probably lose someone of the bloodline. It's deep. We'll see. I'll come back if I pick up more things, but this is some wild stuff, boy. It's wild. Let me get my ass up off of here because you know how like when you be talking about certain things, like weird stuff start happening, and kind of had one of those moments. Things has been good, but I there's this stuff with the ear thing, and Trump trying to communicate that stuff about that ear bleeding. Ooh, good God. I ain't gonna get into what that code mean, but yeah, it's deep. It's real out here. So y'all be easy. Take it easy. Love you guys. Bye.